This is Suspenders Unbuttoned, a podcast where friends talk with friends about TV, movies, and books.
Wrong one. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Suspenders Unbuttoned podcast. My name is Sarah.
And my name is Julie, and we are excited to welcome Demetrius Grosse with us today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Julie, and thank you, Sarah, for having me on the show.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you, and you're here to talk about Spring Breakthrough, which recently aired on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries.
It did indeed. It premiered on the 30th of April, and now it's streaming on Peacock, as well as it has these kind of serendipitous random airings on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries as well. But those just happen, I don't know. I can't really say randomly, but there's no schedule to what those.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We've been looking for it so that we could record it.
Right.
So much content these days. Yeah. It's hard to narrow some down sometimes.
Yeah.
We do love that streaming piece, and then eventually they'll put it in Hallmark into the app so people can get it whenever they want. So you were in Spring Breakthrough was one of the Mahogany movies this spring. Tell us a little bit about the movie.
Well, the movie's I guess it fits into the nomenclature of rom-com. It's a romantic comedy, but it's also a very heart-filled and touching, story about a mother and a daughter. Relationship goes through a little strain when the daughter wants to elope and get married, and the mother's not having it. But without giving too much away, in the midst of her trying to stop her daughter from what she believes is a grave mistake, she falls in love, and the story goes from there. I'm really horrible at
that was perfect.
Tell us what the movie's about, because I don't want to tell you the whole movie, but I want to give you enough.
That was a
so
great.
You at least want to check it out.
Perfect summary.
Yeah, it's got that great that feel like you want to see what happens with these people and how that moves forward. It's got that warmth about somebody walking beside you type of feel. People love watching those rom-coms because of that, right?
I didn't realize how much I would enjoy, making one. I thought it was such a lighthearted energy on the set, and it's important to do these kinds of movies that just make people feel good and feel hopeful and excited about the potential of love in their lives. So I had a good time.
That's fun to hear, because your acting book is thick. When I diving through things and looking, you've done a lot of things, but not this, right? So was this your first rom-com? Well, maybe.
Well, I did one called what was it called? Love Jacked. And that was we shot that a few years ago. But this was I think my first, bona fide lead. Romantic lead in a rom-com. I was kind of a quirky character in that other one.
We love all the characters.
There's some quirks about Clark too, for sure. A lot less.
Wait. One of the things is Clark Randall. When I see that, one of my favorite characters ever on TV is Randall from This Is Us. So and so I was just like, Clark Randall, even spelled the right way.
Right. Yeah. And then Clark. I mean, the name choices. All these names have to get cleared with networks and with studios, and so it rings a few bells. The name choices on the show.
Clark's got a lot of TV history.
Oh yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Clark.
Clark was he's a finance guy who's into Keynesian economics, and he's taken some time away from the corporate world to get out of the rat race, and now he's looking for the soft life. He's just trying to play golf and, eat vegan and, do Zen meditations by the pool. And, he's seeing his Reiki therapist once a week. He's eating granola. One of those guys. He's working at the spa and resort that the story takes place at. And him and Monica, they find each other quite serendipitously in the airport. And that's who he is. He's a guy who's looking for a fresh start as well.
I kind of love that it takes place in this beautiful spa and resort, but the meet is actually at the airport. Like, it's kind of a little unexpected, right?
Right. Yeah. And we've all had those experiences, right?
Right. Yeah.
We've all had those experiences where we don't even know who we're talking to. Like, these two are going to spend a whole 2 weeks together on this resort, but in that moment when they're in the airport, they are both a little naive, very naive actually, in terms of who the other will become to each other. And I think the dramatic irony of that makes those scenes really funny and fun to watch.
Yes, totally. And I love that they meet over, a book, which is a lot of fun.
Right.
So tell us, did you have a favorite scene in the movie or something you really loved filming that we can all watch for together?
Okay, so the funnest scene we shot actually doesn't end up in the final film.
Oh no.
So the movie, to fit into the broadcast slot, it had to be like 83 minutes.
Yeah.
But the original film that was directed by Michael T. Williamson ran at about 103. And it was very cinematic and beautiful. And the some of the scenes played a little longer in places, and some of the relationships were more fleshed out.
Mm-hmm.
But in the interest of broadcast and time slots, we had to get the movie down and shave it. But one of the scenes that we shot that was really fun was one where we were all on a pontoon boat. Clark gets Monica and all the family, Forrest, and the whole gang, and they go on a little boat tour, like a little lake tour, and Keisha's hat flies off, or Keisha Sharp, the actress who plays Monica, her hat flies off, and then we started having to improvise to keep, because the cameras were rolling in they were rolling in another boat that was kind of trailing us, and we had to improvise because the camera had to keep going, and I thought that was a lot of fun. We started dancing on the deck of the boat, which you're apparently never supposed to do. It's like very illegal. Coast guards will give you a ticket if they see you dancing on the boat. So
on a pontoon boat?
Yeah, you're not supposed to dance on.
I live in Minnesota. We do lots of things on pontoon boats.
Yeah, we I've done it too, but apparently, when you're on a movie set, it's like
on a movie set. Yeah.
So everybody's like watching everybody. In real life, a lot more than dancing goes on boat decks, for sure. But I remember, the people who were in charge of everyone's safety were like over on the side.
Oh yeah.
No,
I can see that.
But it was a good time. So yeah, I think that was probably one of the funner days.
Oh, maybe they'll release like a little clip of footage.
There's not like the director's cut.
The director's cut.
Right, something like that. Sheila in our comments is asking, did you have a favorite location that you shot in the film, maybe other than on the lake, on the boat, dancing?
We got a chance to shoot on a pier. Keisha and I, we shot a fishing scene that was really relaxing. We shot it on location in the Gulf Coast, off the coast of Alabama, and
love that.
Yeah, it was beautiful. The waters out there are crystal blue, and rarely actually have I got a chance to shoot a fishing scene. It's you need a lot of pace in those scenes
Right.
because you're all relaxed and everything. But, you're
Please
fishing.
be relaxed.
I fish sometimes, and so it's like it's funny the juxtaposition of how you how performance needs to feel and look versus like how you act, where you actually might be when you're doing the activity that you're doing in the scene.
Right.
Because when I'm fishing, I'm much I'm very quiet, I'm very chill, I'm very methodic, but these two are having this very lucid conversation, and we ended up pacing it very well. The scene that one did end up in the movie, and it was fun to watch. But yeah, thanks for that's a great question, Sheila. Yeah, that was one of my favorite locations.
And did you catch anything?
No, but when I went back with my son, I did. They caught some stuff. Yeah, we caught
good.
some
Nice.
stuff.
Nice.
Same spot.
Same spot.
Perfect.
Love that.
So you fish in real life, because sometimes those fishing scenes you're just like,
awkward.
oh, those people do not fish.
Yeah. It's a hit or miss thing. But we did. There was a lot of cross pollination. I just sort of picked up my golf game and started golfing a lot more. And then when I got this opportunity, I had to step it up even more, because Clark is an avid golfer.
Right.
I'm a burgeoning golfer. My character is like a semi-pro, so I had to level my skills up for that too. So, yeah.
Or at least the look. Like, you gotta have the look, right?
Hard work.
No, right? Yeah, like how to stand. Like, there's a look when people are very good, at something, right? Yeah.
There's a confidence. Yeah, there's a certain swagger to their gait.
Right. You gotta love that. These are good things to have in a film: fishing scenes and golf scenes and boat scenes.
Right. It is a very aristocratic film in some ways.
You know what? These films are designed to take us away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the movie should have that effect. It should help you to aspire and be thoughtful about something that you might have been afraid to try for whatever reason, but in watching this film should have a little more hope and a little more je ne sais quoi, to just try something out of the ordinary and hopes to have a good time.
I love it. So had you worked with anybody before, this production? Like, had you worked with any of the actors or directors?
Sarah, there was only one person that I'd actually worked with, and that was the director.
Okay.
Back in the day, we did, there was a Tim Oliphant show on FX called Justified.
Okay. Yep.
A fun show, and Michael T. Williamson was the director of Spring Breakthrough, and he and I played in Justified. His character was Elston Limehouse, and I played Earl, who was his henchman. So, we, as they say, we got the band back together, and and made sure we made a great film for people to check out in Spring Breakthrough.
I love that. It's super fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. So tell us, what makes filming a Mahogany movie special? I
think the brand Mahogany, and even zooming out, Hallmark is such a universally recognized and respected brand that has just a good energy around it, and for it to be as tenured as it is, and as many decades as we've been watching Hallmark or buying Hallmark cards or Mahogany cards, to be selected to do only their 6th studio film.
Yeah.
And from what we're gathering is their most successful. I'm honored. I feel very blessed, very fortunate, very endowed with the responsibility to carry that mantle in so many regards. Mahogany is a brand that was inclusive and representative of the African American diaspora when it wasn't trendy or cool. It was like, you know, back in the day, I was, you know, I saw Mahogany cards and what that was like to get a card from my mother or a sister or an aunt and have those illustrations of Black women, women of color.
Yeah.
That meant something to me. And it means something to anyone to see representation. I think Hallmark is very wise in that. So that they're the goodness that they bring as a brand isn't exclusive to just like one demographic of people. And so to be a part of that inclusivity is something I take very, very, I take it to heart, you know?
Well, we love that. And as viewers, we love seeing these movies with this depth and this storytelling. I am enjoying them very much. And on top of it, their social media is by far the best on Hallmark. So
it's incredible, actually. Yes.
It is incredible. It's extraordinary.
Good. No, we've really enjoyed these stories and the storytelling. Still bringing it in that movie of the week style, that rom-com or the romantic drama,
that familiar,
but bringing a little, bringing more depth and points of view. We really love it. So, thank you for being part of that and bringing us such a great movie.
Well, yes, it's really a movie I can't say enough about. I'm not going to be long-winded much more, but it's a fun movie. You know, it's a movie that you watch it and you're like, I'm glad I watched that. Like, I'm glad I gave that movie an hour of my precious life.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, people came out of the woodwork to like text me and say how much they enjoyed it. People who I don't normally hear from. And so then I had to go back and like actually watch it thoroughly and not just you know, skim it, but you know, and I watched it thoroughly and thoroughly enjoyed it, and the performances are delightful. Yeah.
Love that.
I know. It sounds. I can't wait to see it. I did miss it because of busy end of school.
Yeah, because of life. Sure, I encourage you too, Sarah. Yes, check it out. Like, it's a good boo film. Like.
Yeah.
It's also one you can just watch alone or with your homegirls. Like there's nobody you're gonna feel uncomfortable with when like if you watch the movie with them.
Yeah. Right.
You know, it's I wouldn't say it's like very, very kid friendly. It's like teenager and up friendly.
Yeah.
You know, but definitely check it out. I mean, obviously I'm biased because
I'm biased for you. I'll be biased.
Yeah, I know.
I would recommend it, Sarah, if you haven't seen it, check it out.
Don't you worry. I will be watching it. I always think it's an interesting question to ask. Do you like watching yourself back, or is that something you don't?
Well, it's complex, Sarah. There's a few elements of it. I don't like watching myself like over and over again. I like watching the work in totality. I like looking at the story that's being told, how my performance fit into that. I like to see what the editors decided essentially to be the juiciest or the best takes out of what we're doing.
To fit it into that time frame, it's got to fit into.
It's got to fit, and so I'm also learning when I watch a film or television show that I'm able to be a part of. I'm learning perspective now.
Yeah.
It's like retrospective perspective. Like now I'm seeing the totality of the story that was trying to be told, and that's really gratifying. And also seeing, as an actor, still studying and mastering my mastery of my craft, I'm always interested in what joy looks like on this face. You know, what sadness looks like on this face. What does intrigue or optimism register in my eyes? Like, what are those things? And I think the moment you stop being a student to anything, I think you get a little stale. So I'm always like checking out to kind of see see the nuances of my process and my fellow actors' process and all that has to offer. Yeah.
Hey, that's the best answer we've ever
Yeah,
had.
no, I love that, man. That's
Yes.
great.
It's a great answer. Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
And
We
it's real
know,
talk.
we know you have a limited time, so
It's all good.
we'll end it now. But we wanted to thank you for joining us. And Julie, why don't you go through the movie
Yes.
again?
Yeah. Well, where can they find you on social media?
Social media.
Social media is quite easy to find. I'm at Demetrius Grosse on IG and the Twitter platform.
Perfect.
And that's that.
Fantastic.
Awesome. So make sure you catch Spring Breakthrough next time it airs.
And it's also on Peacock. I think it's still on Peacock.
That's right.
It's also on Peacock, and somebody put it up on YouTube too.
Oh, did they?
Oh, then I can check it out tonight. All right. So Demetrius, hang on one second, and bye, everybody.
We'll see you.
Thank you, Sarah.